Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Funding is provided by a grant from Absolute Care of Westfield, committed to returning the favor to those who spent a lifetime caring for others. Absolute Care is located at 26 Cass Street in Westfield. Dave Cass and Rick Newell provide funding on behalf of the Lakeview Hotel and Restaurant at the docks, located on Water Street near the lake in Mayville. From the Access Channel 5 television studio in Mayville, it's Senior Report with Reed Powers. Join us live Saturday mornings between 9 and 10 a.m. in Fredonia, Mayville, and Silver Creek. Call in and share a thought or wish someone a happy birthday with Chautauqua County's only live on-air senior program. Reed continues in his 15th year with interesting guests expressing their viewpoints and informing the community on a variety of subjects. Here's the host of the show, Reed Powers.
I had surgery for cataracts. If you have the slightest idea that you have cataracts, do it immediately. It's like night and day. It's unbelievable. What a beautiful day it is here in Chautauqua County. I can see it all now. We have a great program coming on. We're going to talk about a secret society in Chautauqua County. It's the Quilters Guild, and they do things you would not believe. They're not a very well-known group like the Boy Scouts or the Methodist Church, but they sure have a bunch of people here, and they do things that you would not believe because, well, wait until you try to buy one. Excuse me, but the price will knock your socks off because these things are expensive. Some of them are thousands and thousands of dollars. And the Amish aren't the only people who do quilts. We'll have a lot of chance to talk to them. We'll have an opportunity to see some of these quilts, and we will take calls, as always, because we're live and on the air all over Chautauqua County, the north part anyway. And you can just call the number if you remember. It's easy to remember, 753, which is the Mayville Exchange, 753-JACK, like jack your phone in, or 5225 if you prefer numbers. Okay, lots of things happening around us. Well, of course, you can't watch TV anymore, and they try to obliterate what's really going on. We're talking about stupid things, Mickey Mouse, meaningless things to distract us. You know, the Romans had a horrible culture going, and they really messed up most of the citizens. And the way they distracted them is they had the games, and they'd go to the arena and watch people being killed by lions and big swords and things, and that distracted them, the games. Well, of course, we have football and baseball, and we also have the movie stars who are all cheating on each other and getting pregnant and so forth, and it's just a craziness going on. But you never hear about the economy, the real problems with our economy, the fact that the bankers and all the big wigs, the rich and powerful, stole all the money from the country just about, from the corporations and the banks, and then, of course, they just picked our pockets, took another $3 trillion, not billion, $1 trillion, and paid them off again. And of course, they're all stealing as fast as they can again. God help us. This is a strange situation going on around us. We have a hoax for health care. They were supposed to give us national health care. We're the only country in the world that pays 30% of all our health care costs to the insurance companies to dole out our health care. It's absurd. They're rich and powerful, and they got so much money, there's no changing it. Congress will not change it. They spend hundreds of millions of dollars paying off Congress every year. Take it from me. Look it up. Look it up. It's a fact. And at this point, we're just wondering what's going on. Then we don't hear anything about the wars, which are making the arms makers and the rich and powerful again richer and more powerful to the tune of another $1 trillion a year, which we don't have, which is being borrowed from our great-grandchildren at this point. God help us. You don't hear about those wars, though. You know, they kind of blot them out on the evening TV. They don't want you to think about it. You know, out of mind, out of sight. They think we're kind of, you know, slow. And maybe we are. We should be up in arms about this. keep telling us they're going to send the boys back from Iraq. Oh, they'll keep 50,000 there. They're sort of non-combaters, combat teams, but they could go into combat anytime and might. And he doubled the war effort, triple the war just about, over in Afghanistan. Oh, well, life goes on. What can you do about it? Locally, we got a lot of stuff. New York State has finally passed a budget. How many months? 4 months late? 4 or 5 months late? And the three people finally got together. You know, nobody else counts in the New York State government, excepting they're all out of New York, everybody who counts at all. And that's Silver over in the Assembly. He tells people what to do. He's the leader over there. And, of course, the leader over in the Senate, and it used to be Benzo, but I can't remember who it is now. He's indicted. He's a crook. I think he confessed and pleaded guilty. That's the way it goes in our New York State legislature. Kathy Young's the only one over there worth a hoot. And we're losing one of the other guys, and that was Bill Parliament. He was pretty good. They called him the conscience, because he'd get up and he'd raise a rampant rave and everybody would leave. He'd tell them what you're doing is crooked and wrong, and they'd all leave. Ah, well, Bill, we'll miss you. My cousin. Okay. Local news, Chautauqua County, everything's sweet and good here. Hunting season's opening up in a week or so. And it looks like everybody's going to swing out of the fishing into the hunting. We have the best hunting and fishing in the world. Local, we also have the best senior groups, and I've got a note here from a couple of them, and I'll read them to you. Well, I won't read them to you, but I'll just paraphrase a little bit. We have the Lakeshore Seniors, which are a big crowd over. They meet in the Dunkirk Senior Center, but they're from the Fredonia area. President Charlene Walmart is the one who does the job over there, and she does a wonderful job. They have a huge group, and they have a lot of facilities. They have this most beautiful racetrack inside. You can actually jog in the winter in there if at the senior club. I wanted to say, if you want to get involved, they will have no meeting next August 25th would be the regular meeting. They're going to have a big picnic. Yeah, 4:30 at the Dunkirk Senior Center. And the next meeting will be September 1st. Drop around. They'd love to see you and meet you. And these senior groups open their arms to anybody. You could literally be from a country mile away and they're still out of their district. They don't care. Come on over. Silver Creek has a big bunch. They have their own clubhouse. Beautiful little place on the corner of Route 5 and Route 20. Drop by. They just repainted it. They put white pebbles all around it to make it look pretty and everything. And it's just gorgeous over there. I wanted to say that if you want to drop around, you'll meet Clara Griffin and Dottie Jones. They're the coffee committee, very important. The coffee and the cookies, that's the best part. August 24th. August 24th. Drop around to their clubhouse. They meet around 12. All right, I'm going to say there's more news here, but we have a big program, and so unfortunately they told me I'm no longer allowed to do news. All right, so we'll do a public service announcement, and we'll have the geezer come on, and he'll talk to you about something very important to his heart. Here you go. This is for you. I think. Here it is.
My husband, Hank, he taught me to live like there's no tomorrow, and we did it all. European vacations, expensive cars, the best restaurants. Life was great till he died. Now there are no tomorrows for Hank, but they're all I've got, because we never saved a dime.
And here we are, the geezer. Mort Flexer shoots from the hip. Mort, you're on.
Thank you, Reed. Good morning to our guests. And when you get a look at them later, you'll understand why it does make such a good morning. But I wanted to talk about a touching subject that's been bugging me lately. Since Mr. Obama has been on the scene, I should say President Obama, racism seems to become a popular subject. It's a difficult one for me to deal with because it's one I, believe it or not, I never experienced. I grew up in Brooklyn. The neighborhood, of course, at that time was completely segregated, and we didn't see many black people. And went to high school in Brooklyn, Brooklyn Technical High School. Again, to the best of my recollection, there wasn't a single African-American student in the school. But I've had no personal difficulty with associating with African Americans as our society changes, and white neighborhoods are now becoming multiracial. I think as a nation, we're doing a pretty good job handling it. Don't see the problems we used to hear about when I was a kid. But it's something I think we need to pay more attention to and realize that we are a nation of one people. We are all Americans, and we need to all be proud of that. Reed, thank you.
Thank you, Mar. Well said. I want to add on to that, I might add, that the racism in this country seems to still continue, and I hope that it will abate to a degree. We have a lot of guests here. We've got 3 lovely guests, and they are representing the Westfield Quilters Guild, which is a very large organization, really, and encompasses more than just Westfield. They do some absolutely incredible art. It could be considered a craft, but sometimes when it becomes so expert, it moves into the world of art. It is original, it's beautiful. They brought some quilts. We're going to talk about how you can get involved, what you can do, how you make a quilt, why they become pretty expensive, and maybe some of the things that you might want to know. And anybody who can call in can ask them a question. And there is the number, as I said, is 753-JACK. All callers receive 2 $5 gifts to the wonderful little Lakeview restaurant at the foot of the hill, which has a salad bar that'll blow your socks off. We have with us Helen Sager, who's sitting next to me, Marcia Wethli, who is sitting in the middle, and last but not least, we have Brenda Nickerson. And she is going to be, these gals are going to be talking a little bit about quilts, and if you want to speak to anybody specifically, call in and ask for them specifically. So they're going to, right? We have a lot of time, so what I want to do is, first of all, tell me your background a little bit. How did you wind up in Westfield?
Well, actually, I live in Brockton.
Okay, there you go. You're not in Westfield. And you, Marcia? How did you wind up in Westfield?
I was always in Westfield.
You were always there. As a matter of fact, Marcia is in my class. We're all in our late 70s now. Class of
Maybe you are.
Class of 57. You can figure it out. And we were classmates there for, gosh, all through school, right? We all went through school. What a place. And Brenda, how about you? Where are you from?
I live in DeWittville.
DeWittville. So you come quite a run. That's quite a run. Do you come to all the meetings?
I do.
When do you meet and where?
We meet the 3rd Thursday of every month at 7 o'clock, and we've been meeting at Noble's Winery for the last 3 months. But then we will revert back to the church.
Okay, they ran out of wine probably. They said, we just can't have this anymore.
We have our summer meetings up on the hill at the winery because it's such a beautiful place.
It's breezy and it's pretty.
And then the majority of the year we meet at the Westfield, at the Methodist Church on Main Street in Westfield.
And on Clinton Street, next door to my house. Mm-hmm. We have quite a group there. How many people do you have?
We have 90 members right now.
90 members. 90 now that is an incredibly large, it's bigger than most of the churches around here. Is it a religion? It is almost.
Kind of.
It is almost.
It's kind of like a cult.
Yeah, as I say, it's an underground cult. Well, now tell me, how do you bring people into this? How do people get involved in it? You know, quilting is a sort of a mystique to most people. They have no idea what it is.
As far as the Guild is concerned, I think that most people who join come probably as a guest for the first time. And, well, even Sarah. She came, and then she became a mother.
She's referring to my own beautiful daughter, Sarah Powers.
And, she had such a good time the first night that she came that she joined and, has been a member. And each meeting, usually, there is a few guests, and you find that the majority of them do join, so that it enlarges our membership of the ones that.
And they like the coffee and the cake, of course.
Of course.
That's what they come for. I'm sure you have a lot of men there. How many men are in the Quilters Guild?
Not one.
Not a single man. No, it's funny too.
We have had.
We have had as many as 3 at one